Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're gonna show you how we transformed the lighting system in this church that was outdated and inadequate from looking like what you see now to looking like this. If you're looking for all the best tips, tricks, and secrets for church lighting design, you've come to the right place. Craig from Pro Church Lights is here. He's gonna walk us through the specific lighting fixtures, the placement strategy, as well as the simple user-friendly control software we use for the volunteers here at the church. All of this coming up. My name's Jake Goslin with Churchfront, helping you lead gospel-centered and tech-savvy worship. And again, I'm joined by Craig Derica of Pro Church Lights. Check out the description of this video for links to all of the resources that we're gonna be talking about in the video. Make sure you also subscribe to the Pro Church Lights YouTube and social accounts to keep up with their latest content. And quick tip, if you want to get a very fast start to the lighting design project at your church, you should check out the Mockup service that Craig and his team offer, so you can actually see what these fixtures will look like in your church space before buying them. And then of course you can hop on a call with their team members and they can walk you through any major purchase or project.
Here at Rock Harbor, we chose the Pro Wash Max. This is a 200-watt LED fixture. It has 97 CRI, which the color rendering index, it produces a reproduction of color in the most natural state. So the higher the CRI, the better color reproduction you will have for your video. The lower the number, poor reproduction of color. So 97 CRI on these is what the LED is reproducing. Industry standard says anything over 92 CRI is considered excellent. Again, these are 97 CRI, so you're getting very true colors based on that LED output. The Fresnel fixture has a variable lens built in, so we have a beam angle of 15 degrees, and we can then widen that to 50 degrees. So back is 15, and we just go forward to 50. And when we're aiming, we'll probably land somewhere on the tighter side, and then all we do is just lock that down, and now we have our beam angle set. As far as connections on the Pro Wash Max, on the back side, we have 3-pin DMX cable connections as well as 5-pin connections. And then we have PowerCon down here at the bottom. So with the PowerCon connection, we'll be able to loop power through the output to the next fixture in line. So what this does is it just helps keep our cables nice and tidy. It streamlines the install and just makes a nice, very clean install. So the PowerCon we'll utilize on this fixture, and we'll be using 3-pin in this setup, but you do have a 5-pin option if your system is running that. So that's the Pro Wash Max. We have 8 of these fixtures here to light this stage. We'll have a set of 4 to light the forward pulpit area of the stage, and then we have another 4 to light that midsection of the stage to give just nice, smooth coverage. Now with the Pro Wash Max, we also will be adding the barn doors into it. So Frank's gonna go ahead and attach those. And with the barn doors, it gives us that extra bit of control. With your front wash, you want to be able to control that light. Keep it off the walls where you don't want it, keep it off the front floor area. So this is where barn doors are crucial. We could have done ellipsoidals in this space, but we chose the Fresnel because we're able to get more coverage with less amount of fixtures, so it maximizes the budget. And then for that extra control, in an ellipsoidal, you would use shutters. In the case of the Fresnel, the barn doors, plus that beam adjustment is our light control. So for the barn doors, we would just shutter down once we're up there and aimed, and it just allows for just an easy placement of light where we want it, and it keeps it off other areas we don't. Frank, if you want to hand me that. So all I'm gonna do is stick that right there on the loop out, and then Frank's gonna loop into that side. So now we're sending power to the next fixture.
Okay, the next fixture that we're gonna be using is the Pro Kick. It's a 200-watt RGBW color mixing light. It has a fixed beam angle. It makes a really nice, soft, bright light. We're gonna be using this as a backlight to help highlight the head and shoulders of those on the platform. Why we love this fixture is the fact that it creates a really nice wide wash. It does a great job of color mixing. It helps to add a really nice creative element, but also helps the dual purpose of helping people pop on video more clearly. For this demonstration, I'm gonna go ahead and fire it on. So this fixture here, Has built-in barn doors here. So I have the ability where I can help shape the light, if you will, help direct it where I want it to go on my platform here. Gives me a little more control. Has the ability to change color as well, but again, this is gonna be a video-centric light, but also it's gonna help add that extra worship element for our stage. Just like the Pro Wash Max, 200 watt LED engine, it's got a ton of power, so it's definitely a great option for helping add much needed backlight onto a stage. On the back of the fixture here, it has 3-pin DMX in and out. It also has PowerCon loop in and out function as well. And our display right here is where we've programmed the fixture. So for the platform at Rock Harbor, we're gonna be utilizing 6 Pro Kicks. We're gonna have 2 Pro Kicks dedicated for the pulpit, rigged up here on the front beam above the pulpit area. It's gonna help highlight where pastor speaks from, but also help add an extra light to the altar area for prayer ministry teams or what have you. So for the upper stage, we're gonna be using 4 of the Pro Kicks for highlighting the band on the back part of the stage.
Okay, so then our third fixture in this whole setup here is our Pro Bar fixture. This is a 15 watt by 24 wash bar. So there's 24 LEDs in here, 15 watts each. And this one is RGB AW, so it also has amber in here, which gives you just a little bit more control, more color options. These will be used to wash some of the wall elements that you see behind me. And same thing here, it has PowerCon in and out, and we're operating 3-pin DMX on this one. So to power this fixture, I'm just gonna take that. So right now our power is going through Pro Wash Max, coming through the Pro Kick, and landing here at the Pro Bar. So we have 4 of these in this setup. Again, this is just to add that atmospheric element behind the worship team, the pastor, giving some color to the stage, adding light to that stone area behind us. We may also put these in the center. We're gonna play with that in a little bit, but we have 4 to work with here. So I can fire these on here, and you can see that lighting up there. So really powerful, smooth wall wash. This is great if you just have wide areas you wanna hit with smooth light. So as far as rigging goes in the space, we're mounting directly to the wood beams that make up the primary structure of the space. So to do that, we're using a beam mount. This is by the light source, and what this will do is it'll fasten into the beam with 4 lags, and then what will happen is we have these sections of 1.5-inch pipe, which will then insert into these fittings. And then from there, the fixture will mount right to here using that light source MAB clamp and hang and suspend from here. We'll then tie in a eye bolt for our safety point, and we'll do that for each one of these fixtures. And due to the spread of using 4 fixtures across a very wide area, we chose to go with the single point mounts versus a pipe system where we could maybe mount 3 next to each other. Due to the setup and the uniqueness of the room, as well as budget, this is the choice we went with for the rigging. So these components make up our DMX system here. So at the back of the room where control is, we'll have the NTEC box. This is the NTEC USB Pro. This is what's taking USB, converting it into DMX, and it's pushing that signal out from LightKey to the rest of the system. LightKey was chosen here as the control system just due to how easy it is to operate and how easy it is for volunteers to just grasp it and get up and running quickly. So it's an excellent choice for this room here. So after the NTEC box, we have the DMX distributor. So the Pro distro is what the NTEC box will feed. From here, we will then spider out across the system to our front wash, our backlight, our wall wash, using the outputs over here. Segmenting your system out is important for troubleshooting and just cleaning up your system. If you're locked into one big daisy chain, it can just be cumbersome to try to grow the system over time. It also is a little bit of a headache if you're trying to troubleshoot some things. So the distro, this piece of equipment, excellent in just creating a robust DMX system. So next in this system here, Rock Harbor, we're installing a wall panel. So this wall panel allows anybody to just walk into the the room, call up presets that we've pre-programmed to it. Really simple to use. LightKey doesn't even need to be on, so that computer can be shut down. It's just a great tool that people can come in and use for Bible studies or stuff going on during the week and they don't want to mess with the lighting system or they're not trained to. They just simply press a button, lights come on. This wall unit would mount to the drywall. It's then fed both data and power down a single Cat 5 line. So that is then connected to this. This is the base unit. So this would be located within a rack within your tech booth. You would create your preset in LightKey, you would hit the record button, select with which preset you would like to store that to, hit stop. That's it. It's that simple to store presets to the wall panel, and then you can go back and overwrite them if you wanted to create different scenes over time or move things around. There's fade time control here, so you can add fade times between the presets. This can be a totally standalone lighting control system. Once you save your presets, you could run your entire service off this if you chose to do so. So real simple system to install, works with any DMX controller out there.
For this installation, we chose to use LightKey as the operating system for their new lighting we installed. LightKey has become like one of my new favorite lighting platforms over the past several years. The reason for that is how powerful, but also how simple it is to integrate and get to work with things like Pro Presenter, to get to work with MIDI controllers and what have you. So here, a really simple preview we set up here. We have our layout of our light fixtures here that we can control off of LightKey. It's as simple as clicking my icons here and then start giving them values under their attributes. So brightness, color, what have you. So real simple. I love how flexible this software is and how easy it is to train volunteers on. We've had a high success rate of volunteers picking up the software within an hour. From there, we also have over here our Protrus Lights wall panel system. So on top of having a really simple lighting system here, another option they have built in now is being able to program and save presets onto their wall panel. So it's a really slick little wall mountable touchscreen that they can save lighting presets for Bible studies, for simple lighting looks for wedding scenes, so that way pastor can literally walk in, set his lighting cue on, and be able to officiate a wedding. It's all a really powerful, simple system here. So to control the lights here off of LightKey, we have our really simple lighting layout here I put together. So the first zone is the front wash. Now, front wash is the first foundational element of a lighting system. So you'll notice here on stage that Craig is being lit up with our front wash fixtures we have installed. There also is a front wash line created for the backline folks. So the bass player, the drummer, whomever is in the back of the stage there. So all of this is controlled off of LightKey. The light fixtures are really powerful, so I want to make sure I have just enough front wash to help light up the platform for the in-person experience, but also for the video cameras. So the next element we have here is the backlight. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and raise that up. These are powerful 200-watt LED wash lights in their ceiling, so I'm gonna raise up the brightness of them. So what you'll see here on Craig's shoulders, you'll see a nice kind of glow on his hair and his shoulders. It helps add some definition. Now, if I remove the front wash here, you'll see very clearly there's this glow, and he has this kind of this ambient backlight happening on him right now. And I slide out the front wash again, and you'll see these two elements working together. So front wash and backlight. In terms of backlight, my personal preference, I love using light blue, sometimes like some purples, to help add a little extra visual flair on subjects on stage here. So right now it's set to a white. I'm gonna go ahead and actually go over to a kind of a magenta purple here. So you'll see there's this nice backlight there. Another great option for broadcasting online is using lighter, less saturated blues. That can help kind of add a little extra color, but also make sure that we're not making our subjects look like Smurfs, if you will, on stage. The final element we have here at Rock Harbor is the wall wash and the scenic design lights we have installed here. So we have a Pro Kick and the Pro Bars installed here on the side walls and also on the cross behind Craig. So I raised these up, and now we have a nice scenic design lighting going here behind Craig. A Pro Kick is positioned up above the ceiling, pointing down to the top of the cross. And then we have our Pro bars on the floor here, up lighting from there. So a lot of options here. You can do kind of mix match of colors and help kind of add some different options here. So I'll grab my Pro Kick and let's do maybe like a deeper blue. Help add a little bit of definition there to the top of the cross like that. Pro bars, I can select the two middle ones if I wanted here, and I can change the color like so, kind of add a different variation there. So a lot of like options in terms of programming for the volunteers here at Rock Harbor.
And I want to show you here some before and after of what the lighting system has done with these, what I would consider pretty subpar cameras. And unfortunately, I have to say these cameras actually look pretty great now. Maybe we don't have to make upgrades as soon as I thought. So here's some footage of what the room looks like. We got Frank on stage with our existing lighting system, the old lighting system, where you can just tell there's like no front wash at all. In order to actually make it look bright enough for the live stream, I'd have to crank the gain up on the camera. And actually, that's what happened a lot. If you look at older live streams on the Rock Harbor channel, you'll see that it was an auto exposure mode. I actually had to switch them to manual exposure mode today. And the camera is like, hey, I need more light, and it has a small lens, a small sensor, so it's gonna crank up that gain, and that's why it just looks super noisy. It does not look great. I know a lot of you guys with PTZ cameras out there, your stream probably looks similar to this. So when I actually expose the camera properly and I bring down that gain, then the image is just too dark, of course. But since we implemented Pro Church lights, now we can bring up the proper lighting and the image looks so crisp and so clean. Again, we're using the same exact PTZ optics camera, and just look at the clarity, the color, the contrast. I'm actually really happy with it. We have a video actually on the channel that my friend Matt made of how to dial these cameras in, even if you have a great lighting system. So check that out for more details on it. But I could not be happier now with the end result of what we're getting with our live stream. And now we can actually justify investing more into better cameras and a better switcher and a better encoder, because we have a quality image at the source. And that is so important when you are doing your church's live stream and setting it up. You've got to have the right lighting in place. Because I'll be honest with you, you can go buy a fancy $10,000 or $20,000 camera and lens setup, but if there is not sufficient lighting, it's still gonna look like garbage. So get your lights right first.
So we have a team of lighting designers at Pro Church Lights standing by ready to help you visualize what new lights in your auditorium can look like. So that team takes a picture you would take of your sanctuary, your auditorium. They then add lights to it. They design it in a way so that you can take a picture with lights embedded into it so your team can easily see what an upgrade could look like within your church.
And you show some of the different options too, where it's like, hey, here's the front lighting and maybe some simple back kick lights. Oh, if you want the movers, like this will look like, this is what it's gonna look like. So again, it just gives you guys a really simple idea to be able to present to your leadership or an elder board of what that end result is going to look like before you pull the trigger on a design.
Yeah, so step one is the visual mock-up. Once that's dialed in, an estimate's then produced, and that's dialed in again. So once it meets budget requirements, once the system's kind of built out, then we go into the next phase is leading up to install. So what the team will do is we will call out power locations, we'll call out where data is going to be, and depending on which install service you choose from Pro Church Lights would depend on who performs that work.
What about if you want to have any convenient ways for actually cutting off power to all the lights, like at the breaker or at where the circuits are? Are there some cool systems you've seen implemented there?
Yeah, so we always recommend installing a relay system, and a relay allows you to shut down power to all of your fixtures easily by just a single switch. And it's important to disconnect your fixtures from power. It's going to increase the life of the fixture. It's going to save you on energy costs. If you're not physically shutting down your DMX-based fixtures, you are operating them essentially 24/7, 365. It's going to shorten the life of the fixtures, and just because the lights and your faders on your controller are to 0 and the light is not producing output, everything's still energized. Your your fans may be running, your power supplies are eating up power, and again, it's energized, therefore shortening the life of your fixture.
That's all we have for you guys in this video. Be sure to check out Pro Church Lights and their website where you can sign up for the Mockup service. I really want to encourage you to do that, because if you're trying to show the leaders at your church what a new lighting system can do, it's a great first step in that process so they can actually start seeing the end result. Of course, show them this video too, right? This is a great case study of really inadequate lighting and the transformation it's made when it comes to how it looks in person and online. And at the Pro Church Lights website, you can actually start building out your own lighting package. You can buy lighting fixtures from their website, of course, or you can actually submit a quote for expert review from one of their team members to make sure you're really getting the right package. And I'd encourage you to do that, because guys, make sure you are really implementing the right strategy even before you start buying a ton of fixtures. And their team is there to help you through that process. And that's what really makes Pro Church Lights really unique among the lighting options out there. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, and we will see you next time.